Once converted to chloramines, which chloramines you probably all are aware of, we went from free chlorine with the addition of, to get CT, then addition of ammonia to convert to chloramines, which is approximately about 80% less likely to form trihalomethanes, a byproduct of concern with disinfection, and especially with free chlorines and other types of disinfection. At that point, it has the option to go around the San Francisco Bay, all the way to the South Bay, and supply Santa Clara at their Santa Clara intertie and other agencies, wholesale customers that require water. Or it can come across the bay, which used to be in pipelines going under the bay by the Dumbarton Bridge down by Palo Alto area. But in the past few years, they've done a major upgrade through the WISA Water System Improvement Program and installed large bore tunnels below the bay, and travels into tunnels and then daylights back into two pipelines coming across, and they all merge. Now we have 5 pipelines rather than 4 with our new upgrade project. The city has made a great investment to ensure that we can supply all customers and residents during a major earthquake. And with water traveling this far, they've done major improvements on all the facilities. This one was the last one job they performed was about 2013 to 2015, at which they did a seismic upgrade, some remodeling, and most importantly, gave us upgraded ozone generators, and to help with the new recycled backwash water regulations, high rate clarifiers and equalization basins, so we can send pretty much pristine water right back to the lake after we have done backwashes and treated appropriately and moved all the sedimentation. We have a centrifuge, and we also, if need be, have the luxury of counting on our brothers and sisters at the Southeast and Oceanside wastewater treatment plant, which helps us with our liquid sludge and further treats it. Our sludge that goes through the centrifuge is dewatered and at that point hauled to a landfill. And at that point, if nobody has any questions, we can start the tour through the treatment process. Any questions?
One.
Yes.
I'm familiar with a wholesaler that pulls off of the pipeline before Irving, so I guess somewhere off the Coast Range Tunnel.
Okay.
So if they pull off for wholesale, does that require additional treatment?
The wholesalers are required to satisfy their customers' needs and treatment obligations. Realistically, the water is ready to consume because it's already been disinfected and pH adjusted prior to the receiving it. As soon as it gets to Tracy, California, at that point on, you're already receiving disinfection through the UV and the addition of chlorine to carry a residual, so you can track the residual and make sure that you meet CT throughout the system. Yes.
You mentioned that the tunnel was originally constructed in 1923, and they've done some seismic upgrade at the facilities. Have they done any seismic upgrade to the tunnel itself?
The reservoir was constructed in 1923, the Hetch-Hetchy, and the tunnel was part of the project. And after inspecting the tunnel, the condition of it was so good that they will be doing a number in the next 5 years, a number of long shutdowns, because now the engineers are coming up with their plan. Everything's getting safety plans, because now you're under not only your normal confined space, you're under the dam safety requirements, dam and tunnel safety. So they will be doing some upgrades seismically, but it's pretty sound. It's amazing that without AutoCAD and modern technology, this system has survived since the early 1900s and still surviving, not only providing everybody with a fine quality of water, but generating 1.5 million kW a year, roughly. Being that we use chloramines, we prefer to cycle our reservoirs as much as possible to avoid any problems with possibility of nitrification and long water age.
I had a question. How does backwashing work here, and how often do the pumps?
Now, we have parameters that are set of 9 feet head loss as an indicator species, letting you know that at 9 feet head loss, you're running a risk of breakthrough. So if we get to 9 feet head loss, we definitely wash our filters, 72-hour run time, and anytime a filter's out for more than 96 hours, it must be hand washed and observed during the wash before we can wash it again and put it into service. So that answer. Then the backwash is forced. We have large tanks on the hill there, one there and one in the trees, which is hard to see. That water comes gravity fed down to we have 2 pumps for one side and 2 pumps for the other side of the system. Lifts up from the bottom of the filters, pushes all the particulate matter out over the weir, out to our high rate, our EQ basins for settling, and at that point we have withdrawal pumps that lift that water and push it up to the high rate clarifiers and remove more particulate matter that did not settle. And at that point, the centrate that comes over the top of the weir, that goes out to the lake again, that can be retreated. Meets all discharge requirements, and the fish love it. Any other questions? So we'll continue on down the train. On each side here that we're at used to be our set basins. As I mentioned before, our water is such high quality, we can continue to meet the state mandates comfortably, that they felt that it was more important to put extra filters in place than have the open emergency set basins in case we got a hard hit. If we were to get a hard hit, we would just have to adjust our chemical coagulation process and filtration rates, and we can still make pristine water. Any questions? Okay, calcium thiosulfate. So anytime that we're releasing water that has a residual of chlorine or even ozone, when we're draining a main contact or anything, we quench it with calcium thio to ensure we meet our discharge requirements. These pipes, again, vacuum off. It's kind of tight inside there and noisy, so we won't go inside, but feel free to open the door, peek in there. You'll see the blowers that vacuum the ozone off. You see it ramping up, and it controls by vacuum and what's needed to burn off the ozone before it gets sent to atmosphere. When we send it to atmosphere, we monitor ambient and we monitor coming through the pipeline on both sides. And when it comes out, you're usually about 0.000 and sometimes 0.0035, but very pure.